All right, well, here we go. The engine's in there, and a couple things I had to kind of clean up. I forgot to make a space for the header here, so I got that cut out. That turned out pretty nice. These are stainless headers, but for some reason they were painted. I really would like to get the paint off of there and show off the stainless. There's the intake manifold for the supercharger. I'm gonna have to take it off and clearance the back in here a little bit. Clearance this a tiny bit. You won't be able to see it, and I'll just cut a hole back there or something. But so the manifold, that's kind of how it's gonna look in there. And then a friend of mine gave me the radiator that's supposed to be for this car, and it's in good shape, so it fits right in this pocket. So I'm going to put that in there. It'll save a few bucks. And then on the rear leaf springs, on these cars, usually the rear wheels sat kind of tucked into the front up in here, and it didn't look good with the wheels that I want. So I had to scoot the axle back a couple inches to get the wheel a little more centered in here. So I made this thing here. Instead of, these are the Toyota truck leaf springs, but instead of, see, here's the dowel pin right here that bolts the pack together. It sits pretty far forward, so I had to relocate without drilling another hole in it. I didn't want to weaken these leaves, so I'll leave that in there. And what I did was I made a plate here, and I got the welder welded down inside there all around the edges, if you can see it or not. So what it did now is it's perfectly centers this thing in here. So I can center this right in the center of this thing, and it locks into place. So now it's locked in, and there's my new hole for the pin. Slide this back enough. See, now the pin is completely locked in there. No, it's not going anywhere. And then I'll lift this up. There it is. It's locked on, and it ain't going anywhere. And that worked out pretty good without having to drill another hole in the leaf. And I'm still somewhat, what I'll do is I'll clamp this down with a vise clamp when I tighten everything down, because I'm a little bit into the curve of the leaf, but not too bad. So we'll just see how that works. You know, either it works or it doesn't. But I think it'll be just fine. So yeah, so that's good. I'm making some headway on this thing. And so there it is without the gas tank. There's the floor. I think that'll be good, so I can use all the stock shocks and everything. That's all, so it's all Toyota. Make it very simple. I got the front brake lines mounted. I got to mount the locator for the rear brake line, and I'll do that while I'm at it. So I was hoping to get that done and get the axle bolted back in place today. And I got all the wheel studs in front and rear. And oh, I got the column, steering column in. The joints and everything in. That turned out pretty good. And then my little cover plate that I made, I used the body sealer on here, so it makes it easy to remove, and it just sticks right on there. Dum-dum, that's what I call it. But it's pretty good stuff. Yeah.